And we're live. Welcome to the Lakers Late Night Podcast. I'm Anthony Irwin. I was wearing a Lakers jersey, but I was the one they caught in that vine that's circling around all over the place. I changed. I somehow made it back here from Staples Center. It was just so embarrassing. Being a Laker fan right now sucks. You wear Lakers stuff out in public, people ask you why. How I'm talking to
people got jokes on jokes on jokes.
yeah. I legitimately, I think I went to like Subway or something like that, and I didn't even realize that I have a Lakers jacket that I wear every so often. It's super comfortable. It's been cold out lately, and I just threw it on, and I went to Subway, and people were like, "Are you sure you want to wear that in public?" And I'm like, "What? Oh, no, I'm not." And I took it off. I threw it in the trash can. I'm joined by Harrison Fagan, who at one point wore said jacket when it got a little chilly up at the place. We had a little bonfire.
You gave me a jacket. You threw it in the trash?
No, I mean I threw it in the trash after you used it, which sounds really bad. But
I mean, I don't blame you. I didn't shower that day, so.
So
we're live.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this game. The Warriors are really effing good. The Lakers are really effing bad. Klay Thompson just decided he was going to come in and own Staples Center. So that was fun to watch. Anytime he starts warming up or heating up, you got to watch that. Anything that you could honestly take away from the game?
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. The Warriors are a lot better than the Lakers, so we definitely had that confirmed tonight that they can continue to be much better than the Lakers. And that, again, while the Lakers' young guys, a lot of them are promising. Like we saw some good stuff out of Larry Nance Jr. tonight and the last couple games. There's the team as a whole is still a long way away from being competitive with a team that's historically good, like Golden State is, or really with most teams, right, especially when they play defense like they did tonight.
It's really tough to watch because you're sitting there thinking, man, are the Lakers ever going to get to this? You know, because the Warriors are really young. Like they aren't going anywhere anytime soon, and you're left to kind of wonder, man, how long before the Lakers get to be competitive with this team? So, you know, in that sense, you just kind of, I mean, that's the most demoralizing aspect of watching these games is what can the Lakers possibly do to ever be competitive with these Golden State Warriors other than hope that those guys' primes run out and Byron Scott falls off of a cliff?
I don't know that he necessarily has to fall off of a cliff. I think the Lakers would probably fire him before it came to that, but
well, you know, sometimes accidents happen.
He has lost, and not only is it notable that he has lost Facebook, which is generally the fans that are a lot of the time when they comment on like Lakers articles are the ones who are very, very pro team. The team can really do no wrong. And he's lost the Facebook commenters. He's definitely lost the silver screen and roll commenter. Shout out to you guys. And he's 100% lost Twitter. Yesterday, after I went to the Lakers practice and I tweeted out a picture of me, I guess, ostensibly interviewing Byron Scott. I didn't actually talk to him, but I was in the scrum with him and I tweeted out a picture of it. And because I accidentally photobombed the Lakers TV and Lakers Nation cameras the whole time. So sorry, guys. But I tweeted out a picture and I think I got 10 replies that were some variation of why didn't you hit? And it's like, yeah, because I'm going to lose my credential for that just because you don't like this guy on a personal level. Like, no, like you know, you can't even respond to that stuff sometimes.
Man up, Harrison. You have to man up and take one for the team. And like honestly, if I was put in that scrum, and this is why I'll never get credentialed, and I completely understand it. But if I was ever put in that scrum, I would just ask him like, how often do you say man up to your team? Like is this a real thing? You know, is this what you just every practice man up?
See, I used to feel like I do that, but it's like once you get in there, I think the atmosphere takes over a little bit. Just everybody's putting off kind of an air of more detachment and professionalism than that. I don't think you would. I'm saving your credentials for the future.
All right, so we don't need to cover really the game. I mean, we can go through a few of the stat lines. It was kind of notable that Anthony Brown played 32 minutes. That's with Kobe not playing at all. D'Angelo Russell not playing at all. We'll talk about that here in a second. Jordan Clarkson goes 8 of 20 for 23 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in 29 minutes. He looked pretty good for stretches. He had the nice up and under move with Steph Curry. Lou Williams has the most Lou Williams line of all time. 24 minutes, 0 for 7 from field goal. Obviously 0 for 3 from 3-point range. 10 of 10 from the free throw line for all of his 10 points. And 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. So Lou somehow manages to be efficient while being insanely and inordinately inefficient. Well done,
This
Lou.
is every shot, but we still somehow had the best true shooting percentage on the team. Not real. I don't know that that's a real stat. I kind of doubt it, but that's the only way that this could be more of a Lou Williams game.
Yep. So that's notable. Way to go out there.
The Wizard of Whistles is at it again.
Steph Curry got banged up a little bit, hit his shin. It looked like on Roy Hibbert's leg. Came up a little gimpy. Tried to play for a few minutes, but then the Warriors realized, oh yeah, we're playing the Lakers. We don't need him in right now. And he wound up sitting. They made the smart play. Though Luke Walton brought Klay Thompson back in.
Klay Thompson came back in at the end.
Yeah, he came back in. That's Lou. That was Luke. For all the crap fans give him all the time for being Luke Walton. Damn you, Lakers fans, and your smart-ass comments.
No, was that? Did his dad bet him? Was he like, hey, Klay, if you go out there and you score 36 points, I'll buy dinner tonight? Or how many did Klay end up with? Klay ended up with 36 points.
36 points.
Yeah.
He I made the joke both on my personal and then through Dodgers Nation. The Dodgers signed or traded for Trace Thompson, who is Klay's brother. So I figured, hey, maybe they played some one-on-one back in the day. You could rent the guy to the Lakers and have him walk onto the court. Might have done better than the Lakers were doing there, especially in the first quarter when it looked like Klay Thompson was going to score 80 points. Aside from that, there's nothing really to take from it. I did want to talk a little bit about D'Angelo Russell sitting out tonight, though. So are you ready for reckless speculation?
If I didn't lose my credential with that first part where I mentioned that people were asking me to hit the head coach of the team, then, I'm certainly about to, I'm sure. But, yeah, let's go for it.
Well, you have the opportunity to talk me off my ledge right now. So
okay.
I saw a tweet, and I like Rye Cole. He's really, really good. He was on the Lakers Outsiders podcast, and he did really good there. He says a lot of really smart things on Twitter, but he, tweeted out, D'Angelo Russell is really going to sit out with a sore throat, ... And it made me think, if I had a sore throat, or if I had a pulled hamstring, or if I had any kind of marginal injury, and Byron Scott treated me the way he continues to treat, whether it's D'Angelo Russell or Julius Randle, why the heck would I risk further injury, further sickness, further ailment to stick my neck out or my sore throat out for this coach? And I wonder if that's a factor at all. Now, you said there's a different aspect of the story that he actually showed up. They told him to go home. Go ahead and you
I don't know that he showed up. I remember earlier before the game, one of the reporters was saying that Russell had tried to go tonight, and the Lakers had sent him home. So I don't know if that means that he actually showed up or if he called in and they just said, no, just take the night off. Like you were really sick yesterday, because we came in yesterday to practice and the PR just came up to us immediately and said, yeah, we sent D'Angelo home. He has a sore throat. And so they had sent him home before practice was even over. And so I would imagine, I don't know what sore throat means from that could mean a lot of different illnesses, I guess. So
Mhm.
we don't. Number one, we don't know what he has, so we don't know how easy it would be for him to play through. So that's kind of my
Yeah.
issue with speculating on what his motivation would be to play through it. Now, at the same time, when you've had your toughness questioned by your coach the whole year and he's called you out for certain things, and I guess recently it was Randall that he was calling out more so than Russell, but he's definitely called Russell out a fair amount this year as well. Would I want to play through injury for him, even if it wasn't that severe? Maybe not. But it's just hard because we don't know exactly how sore his throat was or what exact illness he has.
Right. That's that. I mean, that was the caveat that I put in the disclaimer that I put at the beginning of this brief little segment. Is that yeah, you're speculating about somebody's injury, somebody's pain tolerance, and all of that. But I think the pain tolerance diminishes when your coach is a complete douche. I almost said a different few words, but I think I'm safe with douche. I wouldn't. Like I said, like with Drew, for example, our editor in chief. If there are times that I don't know if I'd be able to make a show, or if I have to move things around in my schedule to be able to make a show, I'm going to make that show because I respect the heck out of Drew. He's a really, really good editor in chief, and I have prior commitments on this thing. Now, I'm not perfect, obviously. There are times where it just doesn't work out, which that might be the case here with D'Angelo Russell. But for Drew, I'm willing to, hey, if I'm not feeling the greatest, I wasn't. I came off of the cruise. I still had vertigo, and I said I'll try to stick out this show because I really respect Drew, and I don't know if that respect level is there with D'Angelo Russell and or Julius Randle. If a similar situation arises, I don't know if Julius Randle would go out of his way to play through injury for Byron, and that's what you get when you continue to challenge people unfoundedly or unfairly. All right, so
yeah, other than the caveat just being we don't know how sick he is.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think that at some point that does wear down the locker room when it's just constant criticism.
Right, and it's not even. It'd be one thing if it was founded criticism, and I thought and we'll talk about. We'll go ahead and segue over to Randall. But I thought he made a really good point after being called out by Byron in front of the team. He said the entire team wasn't playing defense. The entire team was playing selfishly. The entire team out there on the court let the Suns not back into the game, but I think they cut the lead basically almost in half while they were all out there. And to single out Randall and all of that, when you keep on benching the kid for after strong play, it's just it gets to be.
Well, can I play devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
So Randall's defense in that game was legitimately bad. Drew, who you just talked about, he had a great breakdown of it for Silver Screen and Roll yesterday. He gave up 9 straight points from Teletovic. Yeah. His defense was really bad. He tries and he recovered well the 3-point shooters, but his ball watching is a real problem at a lot of times. And so does he deserve criticism for that? Yeah, he does. The way that Byron went about it, though, by calling him out in front of the team and then calling him out again in front of the media and then again the next day in front of the media, I think you can also understand why Julius would be upset. I've been saying this, I think I said it on Twitter the other day, that it's not a mutually exclusive thing to think that Byron Scott handled the situation badly and that Julius Randle also played bad defense and was deserving of being coached on that point.
But I think the issue all season has been, all right, you can coach the kid, you can call timeout, you can ream into the kid and tell him, hey, you can't let Mirza Teletovic, or Teletovic, I don't know how to say the guy's name.
It's Teletovic.
That's probably a pretty good sign that he shouldn't be scoring 9 straight points on you. So, you can do that, but then keep the kid in the game so that he continues to learn from that mistake. But he's not going to learn if he just, all right, I made a mistake. I got to come to the bench. And then what it's going to turn into, and it's like a high school coach. I said this on the podcast with Adam Maris when we were talking about the Denver situation, how guys, Emmanuel Mudiay would turn the ball over and then immediately kind of glance over to the bench and see, oh man, am I going to be pulled for this? You can never operate at full compensity at any job if you're afraid to make a mistake, right? So like if you're writing an article,
even not even just a job, just anywhere in life, you're just going to struggle a lot more when you feel like you have that weight hanging over your head.
Yeah, if you, exactly. If you go on a date and you're just worried about tripping over your words, guess what's probably going to happen? You're going to trip over your words, and that's what I think is going to start to manifest as the season goes along, and these guys keep getting benched for making mistakes. They can't be afraid to make mistakes because they're going to continue to make more mistakes, and then they're going to keep getting benched, and this cycle is going to continue until something has to give, and we're all hoping that something has to give. Is Byron either maturing or getting out of there?
I agree with you actually on the coaching point. I think that the coaching them and then throwing them back in the game at times, I think would be a much more effective tactic than what at least appears to be happening right now, where they're just taken out of the game and not really talked to very much. Because I watch the bench at times during the games. It doesn't appear like they're getting spoken to a ton while they're over there. Yeah, so I agree with you that if you're gonna coach the guy, then actually coach him. Don't just pull him out of the game. If you have something that you see that he's doing wrong, tell him what that is. Give him an adjustment to make.
We've both done coaching, obviously not at this level, obviously not anywhere near this level, right?
Not even close.
But at the end of the day, yeah. But at the end of the day, you're managing people. You're managing. You're trying to get the best out of people, right? And with Chip Kelly getting fired in Philadelphia, right? The main knock on him was that he couldn't understand how to deal with people, and in this case, eventually, you got to stop saying these damn millennials and learn to work with millennials, right? That's the most frustrating aspect of that debate, is that old people keep screaming about these damn millennials. But guess who's probably going somewhere first?
I think it's at Basketball, Contrarian Barbarian. He put it best. He said, these millennials are the problem, and that's why from now on I'm only drafting from the greatest generation.
It's like exactly.
You can't go and start a draft for World War II veterans. It's like, I mean, you could fill your, I guess there's no CBA bylaw excluding you from filling it out, then your team would probably lead the league in grit. I'm confident in saying that you would not only not win a single game, but probably not score a single point.
All I know is their purple and gold medals would match the Lakers' purple and gold uniform, so it would work maybe.
Can you imagine Draymond Green's trash talk in that game? Has like a quintuple double.
And meanwhile, you have these poor veterans. Huh? What? Yeah, that's it. This whole millennial conversation is so mind-boggling.
You're referring to the Robert Sarver comments as well, right?
Yes, yeah, I saw that the other day too. And it's so stupid to me that we keep on getting screamed at. And I guess I consider myself more millennial than the other one. I think I'm right in between age-wise. But
you're 40.
You keep on. You keep on getting screamed at for thinking differently than the generation that came before you. But guess who's probably going first? All the old people. Like, you guys are dying at a more progressed rate than millennials. So you should probably learn to deal with us. And this is what, if I'm Russell and I'm Randall, I'd say to Byron.
That you could tell you have a doctor's wife, that that old age is it does kill eventually.
It'll get you. It'll jump up and bite you.
Father Time is really undefeated.
I can tell you, I've been nursing a bad back, and I don't even know what the hell I did. Damn millennials. that I guess I'll step off my soapbox on that topic, but I guess the larger overriding point here is eventually Byron needs to learn that he needs to get the most out of these guys, and he's not going to by just repeatedly failing to understand where they're coming from in all of these conversations. And he just doesn't care to. It doesn't seem like from the outside. Now, this is a perfect segue to your most recent dealings with Byron and everybody else. I believe, was it just Byron that had a scrum, or were there other people that you got
we
to talk
spoke to Larry Nance Jr., not Meta World Peace. Sorry, Nick Young and Julius Randle.
Gotcha. So yeah, for those who don't know, Harrison got to go to the Lakers practice, and that's a really cool thing. The Lakers are historically stingy handing out press passes to people, and it takes a lot of hard work. And
I don't know that I've heard about that. Shout out to Daniel Ramirez. You're the man.
I've heard from dealings, but yeah, I just want to let's take you through. So you show up at the practice. You probably have to wait outside for a bit because they don't let people in right away, right when you get there, right?
I did have to talk to security, yeah, and they had to clear me because I don't. The local beat writers have a fancy little pass badge thing that they just I think they put it up to the door and they just get let in. But yeah, I had to go and stand around awkwardly with the very, very friendly and nice security guard as he radioed back and made sure that I wasn't just some kid trying to randomly wander into a Lakers practice. So
yeah, did you show up on or off
I could tell he was nice but cautious that I could have literally could have just been some kid trying to put on a dress up shirt and slicked his hair back and tried to sneak into the Toyota Center.
Were you wearing a walking boot?
I was not. I manned up. I skipped the walking boot because I didn't want to make a scene and have everybody asking me what was wrong with my foot. So I limped in on a broken toe. And yeah, so you make your way back. It's actually they have on your way back to the press room, they have photos of every current Laker on the team. And then as you're walking in, there's above the door, there's either above the door or right next to the door, there's a photo of Chick Hearn. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then really cool. you sit down in there and you wait until practice, and practice ran a little late yesterday. They were really trying to get ready for the Warriors tonight. So you can credit that with them only losing by 30 some.
Hashtag we didn't lose by 50.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy. It's hard in this social media world, but yeah. So then they let us in, and we went and we talked to Byron Scott for a little bit. And as I told you, I ended up the scrum was very crowded yesterday. I think there was a lot of interest in what he was going to say about Randle and what he was going to say about the Warriors. I think that both of those factors led to a pretty packed scrum yesterday, and not a lot of room. So I was kind of forced to stand behind him awkwardly and hold my little tape recorder over his head. And I gotta say, that must be the weirdest thing to have like 20 or 30 people crowded around you, stuffed in like sardines in a can, and they're all holding little microphone things right into your face as you're talking. And he seems really natural and just comfortable with it, but it's just such an awkward situation. You have these like huge camera lights blaring on you that are not friendly to your appearance and or your eyeballs, your retinas. I think I was a little blind after that.
I mean, you were behind him. So are you talking about your appearance or Byron's appearance?
No, I'm talking about mine, 100%. I'm surprised you can see me because this blogging life has basically left me translucent as far as tans go. So I thought you guys were just going to be seeing organs just straight through.
Yeah. Just a bunch of veins.
Looks like an X-ray.
Man, what's holding up those clothes? So you said something that was interesting before we went on air, talking about, because right now the big thing that happens, and it's really, really funny because right about 3 or 4 o'clock is when this happens, but the comments and quotes come out from practice via the beat reporters, and they all come out via Twitter, and everybody quote RTs them with some snide comment about what
Either
else
a
is going on
snarky
there.
comment, outrage, or they respond to the beat reporter. How can you let him get away with this? Some of the people that don't really, I think there are a lot of people that don't understand what a beat reporter's job is. And
It's literally shooting the messenger. Like they're literally
yeah,
just lining up.
it's like my job. It's like their job. I'm not calling myself a beat reporter, but the job of guys like Eric Pincus, Mark Medina, Baxter Holmes, Bill Oram. Although Bill wasn't there yesterday. Congratulations, Bill, on you and your wife having your baby.
Also, congratulations, Matt Moore, friend of the show. He also welcomed another child to his house too. So, congratulations, both of you. Go ahead and continue though. You were saying,
but anyway, their job is to relay these quotes. They don't present them with a comment. They just say Byron Scott on X subject, and then a quotation mark, denoting that this is something that Byron Scott is saying that they don't necessarily agree with or disagree with, but it's just something that was said, and then they throw it out there. So I think sometimes there's a misunderstanding that if they disagree with him, they're supposed to just call him on it in the middle of a scrum. And that's just not really how it works, I guess. And then there's also, I think, basically a witch hunt for Byron Scott. Anything he says pretty much gets taken in the most negative connotation possible. And he doesn't, I don't think that he always has malicious intentions when he says some of this stuff. I think that he just occasionally does have a tendency to put his foot in his mouth. Especially with how old school he is and how that stuff comes off to the millennials on Twitter.
You had mentioned that a lot of his, I guess from our perspective, dumber quotes are, they're presented without context, right? So for me, if I don't know what's going on and I just see a dang, a quote that's out there, I'm thinking to myself, this guy can't possibly be serious. But you said there's a chance he may not be. That some of this comes across not all completely tongue in cheek, but it's just kind of his attitude.
Yeah, sometimes he most of the time he's delivering some of this stuff with a smile on his face, or it's not. It's kind of what I was saying. It's not always intended, I think, as maliciously as a lot of people take it. Especially when he's talking about the young guys, and then a lot of the time when he says things about the young guys, like today, he was saying that I wasn't there, but I saw the quotes come out. He was saying, "I love Julius. I really love his game, and I think it's great." And I really want to see him play with consistent energy. And so he gives them a compliment, and you can tell that he does genuinely care about these guys. He doesn't hate his players. He likes them. He wants to win. They all want the same thing, which is to win. And they all, he seems to like them and care for them, especially when he was talking about Larry Nance Jr. He almost sounded like a proud dad the other day. And so, oh man, I lost my train of thought. But
no, it's the issue that comes across is that, I mean, we've all had that coach. I played sports basically all my life, and we all have that coach where it's like, just stop at the compliment. Just stop right there. You're good, right? Damn it, you kept on going, and I guess when he keeps on beating the dead horse of Randall's energy, which I can't help but feel is still pretty unfounded, and then blows up every compliment with some further knock, you're kind of left to, all right, man, you're impossible. That's fine, or it's not fine, but that's you. You do you. Was there anything?
He is hard to please. I think that that's a big part of who he is as a person and as a coach. He's not, for better or for worse, he's not going to be satisfied. And I think that goes for when he's coaching a championship level team in New Jersey. I would imagine that his scrums were probably similar. But he's not willing to just accept that that there should be reduced expectations for these guys a lot of the time. As much as he talks about preaching patience, he doesn't always show it himself. And he's very demanding. Is my sense from my limited interactions with him and reading stuff and all of that.
Right. And as a kid, as a coach, you kind of have to be demanding. You just also have to be realistic. And I think he kind of crosses that line into unrealistic requirements. Anything else that you gathered from your experience at the Lakers practice?
No, nothing stands out in particular. I wrote a piece on Larry Nance Jr. that everybody can kind of go read if they want to, that I'll shamelessly plug here. I wrote a brief profile on him, just kind of using my experiences with him and the team at Summer League and yesterday at the practice. I got some good quotes from him and Byron. So I kind of gave more extended thoughts there on some of this stuff. But yeah, as far as going to the practice, it was about as cool of an experience as you'd think. And it was also not necessarily, I guess, not necessarily as glamorous as I think a lot of people make it out to be either. It was a nice experience, and it was cool, and it was surreal, and I'm following my dreams right now. But at the same time, it's not like you're not going in there as a fan to go and get autographs from these guys, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the trippiest thing with the Dodgers thing. And you're, oh my God, wait, I can't do that. I can't.
You have to put your professionalism hat on.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have this hat, so. All right, so let's wrap up the show then with the quotes from today's game. You would think after a brutal and crushing blowout, somebody might have said something that was noteworthy. Did you find anything?
There was not a ton coming out. Larry Nance Jr. had a funny quote about that the Lakers won, or the Warriors won that first quarter on a combination of Klay Thompson and Klay Thompson. Because he was just going off. It was like the Lakers tried to clone Jordan Clarkson in their Twitter starting lineup. The Warriors actually appeared to be successful doing so with Klay in the first quarter. And yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if the Wi-Fi is bad at Staples Center tonight. There's nothing coming out. Byron Scott said that I think we've gotten better since the last time we played them. So he did compliment the team, I guess.
Nice. All right. Well, that's fine. That's great. I hope he didn't, continue saying anything else after that. But no, it looks like I just saw that same tweet. So
they cut off the transcription.
Yeah, we've gotten better since the last time we played them, but we're still terrible.
We're still terrible. This team is awful.
Effing millennials. All right, so that does it for this episode of Lakers Late Night. The Lakers fall to the Golden State Warriors by a final of 109-88. The game was not even as close as that. Lakers' next game, I'm looking at, they play the Kings on Thursday. It'll be a TNT game. So we get to listen to Charles Barkley complain about
we get to listen to Charles Barkley talk about the Lakers and DeMarcus Cousins in the same game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
basically
just a train wreck.
Yeah, go buy all the whiskey. Go, do whatever you can.
I can't think of any drinking games that you can play responsibly for that one.
I mean, anytime he says "first of all" is always my go-to, if depending on the kind of night I want to have. The Lakers play the Kings. It'll be Kobe's last game in Sacramento. So I'd imagine he's going to play in that one. So you have that to look forward to. Hopefully, D'Angelo Russell mans up and gets over this cough he has, or the sore throat he has, and is able to play on Thursday as well.
You're going to feel really bad when it comes out that he had like a serious illness.
Strep throat or something.
Yeah. It's like he was on bed rest. He was trying to like they had to force him back down. He was trying to get to the arena.
It was like all those World War II veterans. Like I gotta go help them, guys. No,
I have grit
here. All right. On that note, as we compared D'Angelo Russell to a World War II veteran, I'm gonna get out of here before we get fired.
Oh,
thanks, Harrison.
We're getting fired for this one.
Yeah. You're
Thanks,
crazy
Anthony.
for this.